Hi there folks, Steve here, alias Guido Jib, Private Eye, Private Investigator. Yeah, today I just wanted to go through a few of my old books that I collected over the years. Starting from this one, this is the first, I think one of the first spy books that I bought. I used to love spying. The Spy's Guidebook, full of amazing tips on spying. Got that in about 35 years ago. Fakes and forgeries, and clues and suspects, catching crooks, codes and secret writings, the Secret Agent's Handbook, codes for kids, how to be a detective, Snapdragon's magic books of toys and tricks, big book of secrets. I read that one. A to Z of spycraft. And this is one I got recently, actually. You know, still my parents bought me this one, How to Start Your Own Secret Society. It's quite amazing, really. So, okay, I'll just read it back. Rejected by the Freemasons, not bright enough for the Illuminati, burnt by the Hellfire Club, no friends in high places to get you into the Bilderberg or Bohemian Grove. Do you feel isolated and powerless? Fear not, there is an answer. Why not start your own secret society to add an air of mystery to your life and instantly alter the way you are perceived by family, friends and society at large? Don't feel left out again. Start a secret society and be a part of the conspiracy. So you can see I've been studying this for a good few years. It's like, you know, just as a silly hobby, really. But what amazed me, I mean, back in the day, you know, there was only me and a few other kids in our class who was like into spying. You know, spying was a kind of a nerdy, geeky kind of thing back then. You know, people going out to discos and having fun. What amazes me though is like since about 10 years now, since the rise of the internet, the amount of people that are looking at conspiracy theories, I guess you could call them, you know, alternative news, alternative information, only to find out that a lot of it's got a lot of solid basis to it. And you know, it's quite mind-blowing when you find out a lot of the secrets and about the government and about like history and the lies we've been told and stuff, you know. And so really that's the main thing what the so-called conspiracy theorists would really wish is for everybody to wake up. Now, what is wake up? You know, you might have heard it before. Hey sheeple, wake up sheeple. And it's a bit really it's about wake up to the truth of what the government's doing behind our backs, I guess. But to me it's not really wake up, it's grow up, you know, because we have to go into responsibility. We can't be pointing the finger all the time and saying, hey, the government's corrupt and they're corrupt and that corporation's corrupt. At some point we just have to make a start with ourselves and with the communities that we're building, and gain some momentum there instead of always pointing the finger, because at the end of the day the law, the legal system can assist us in our journeys if we grow up and learn those systems. So it's not so much about being asleep or awake, you know. At the end of the day I wake up every day and I think to myself, really, we need to get together and save the world. You know, the world is in a massive situation, really, you know, and we can save it. We can all like do our little part. Everybody's got a little different task to do in this whole thing, and we shouldn't really be wasting too much time on pointing the finger and looking at what other major corporations are messing up in that way. You know, not everybody. You know, some people are supposed to be researching you know, conspiracy theories, but it's not for everybody. Some people have got other jobs to do. So, you know, if you're somebody and you know a lot of information about the truths of the world, you know, you might get a little bit frustrated because you'll be trying to tell people and they don't seem to be interested. Fact is though, is there's a lot to take on your own, and it's a lot to perceive, and it's a lot to think about. So, you know, I'd like to get up every day and say, hey, you know, come on, let's save the planet. We need to do this. Wake up, grow up, get yourself together and stuff. But obviously, I don't want to be saying that every time of the day, and I don't want to say that every day. But we should really put a few minutes or hours into every day to saving this planet, because if we're trying to save our own ass, or we're trying to do things for our children and stuff, there's no point in just getting like insurance policies and you know, buying property and this, that and the other. We have to make sure that the world is in a good state, because if we don't look after the planet and we don't look after the air and the water and the earth, then there's going to be nothing anyway. So it doesn't matter how much land you've got, or how much money you've got, or how many insurance policies you've got. If we don't pull together, you know, we're going to either have a conformist, robotised system that nobody's got any individuality or freedom whatsoever, or we're just going to die of starvation and malnutrition. So that's the bad point of it. You know, I've got that out of the way. I've been wanting to say that on every single video. So heed these words, because I won't go over them again. It's not a wizard's path to carry the weight of the world. Nothing is any more important than anything else in that sense. But let it be said, you know, let it be said, the world needs saving. And it's not really necessarily about you finding out about like all these conspiracy theories and what's true and what's false and who attacked who. At the end of the day, you know, it's about having no opinion, especially if it just comes from the mainstream. You know, just forget the opinions of what you see on the news and that, and just get on with your own life. Do what you enjoy, because I'm sure when you fully do what you enjoy and what makes you really excited in your heart, then you're probably doing your task for the planet anyway. And if you do it properly and with care of heart and look at what other people are doing and don't hurt anybody else, then guaranteed you're doing the right thing. You know, but if you need to have somebody else to tell you what to do, and even that doesn't sound right to you, then maybe you should go away a little bit in silence and consider whether what you're doing is the right thing. So that's all there is for spying, you know, spying. I'm not really a spy, you know. But it is an interesting subject, you know, especially under the circumstances. So, here it is. How to start your own secret society. That was all. I don't know if it made any sense. Just wanted to make an update. Yeah, subscribe and all that lot.